Book review, The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. The Secret is a best-selling self-help book that explores the concept of the law of attraction.
Okay, so let's unpack this one. The Secret. You know that book?
Oh, yeah.
The huge global phenomenon back in 2006? It basically promised you could unlock, well, everything you wanted just through the law of attraction.
Right.
So today we're not just like reviewing it. We want to dive deep into why it grabbed hold of millions and, the big conversations and, controversies it kicked off.
Well, what's really fascinating about Rhonda Byrne's The Secret, I think, is how she frames that core idea. The whole positive thoughts bring positive outcomes, negative thoughts bring negative ones. Our mission here really is to explore this sort of timeless truth The Secret claims it's revealing, and understand why it had such a magnetic pull.
Yeah.
And also look at why it stirred up so much debate, both the good and the bad. We'll try and give you the key bits to really grasp its impact and maybe its place in personal development today.
Yeah. Because it wasn't just another self-help book, was it? It really became this cultural moment. Why do you think that specific framing of the law of attraction, that just your thoughts alone could manifest reality, money, health, whatever, why did that hit home for so many people?
It's just incredibly empowering, isn't it? I mean, for a lot of people, it felt like it shifted control back to them. Suggesting success isn't purely about external stuff or luck, but actually about your inner world.
Right, your mindset.
Exactly. And that belief, whether you call it law of attraction or something else, it can influence outcomes. Psychologically speaking, it kind of taps into things like self-fulfilling prophecies or confirmation bias, where believing something strongly makes you act in ways that might bring it about, or maybe just makes you notice the evidence that supports your belief more.
And the way it presented this, the language was so straightforward, very simple. It broke down these potentially complex philosophical ideas into really digestible everyday language.
Absolutely. That accessibility was, I think, a huge part of its genius. Byrne made it feel like anyone could do it, no matter their background. Like this universal key for, well, anything.
Any part of life, yeah.
It speaks to that really basic human desire we all have for control and making things better.
Yeah.
The book's simplicity wasn't just easy to grasp. It made the whole concept seem easy to do, even if doing it was mostly mental.
Yeah, but it's exactly that huge promise, that sweeping claim that also became, well, a major issue for lots of people, with claims that big skepticism was pretty much guaranteed, right?
Definitely.
So where did The Secret start getting its most serious pushback?
Well, a big one, probably the main one, points to the lack of, scientific grounding. Critics argue it just dramatically oversimplifies how the world works,
Right.
suggesting that just thinking positive thoughts can replace actual tangible effort or somehow overcome really significant external barriers. Science, tends to emphasize the vital role of consistent effort, planning, taking action, adapting.
The hard work bit.
Exactly. Alongside any kind of mindset stuff, you need that to get real results.
And also the focus of what people were told to attract often felt heavily skewed towards material wealth, luxury items. That didn't sit right with everyone.
It did lean that way.
Yeah.
I mean, while the book does mention emotional stuff, spiritual well-being, a lot of the examples and emphasis seem to be on attracting money, fancy cars, big houses, and that led to critiques about it being materialistic. For some, that really overshadowed the maybe more useful bits about gratitude or positivity.
Yeah.
And this focus also fed into a perhaps more serious worry: the potential for the book to be genuinely misleading.
How do you mean? Misleading how?
Well, some ways of reading The Secret could easily lead someone to believe that any failure, any struggle, even serious illness, it's somehow solely down to their own negative thoughts.
Oh, right. Like victim blaming.
Exactly. Or just not visualizing hard enough. Imagine telling someone going through something truly awful that it's basically their fault for not thinking positively enough. That kind of message can be incredibly harmful, deeply guilt-inducing. It just completely overlooks, external factors, systemic issues, the sheer complexity of life.
Okay, so wrapping this up then, what does this all really mean for you, the listener, trying to navigate this whole world of personal growth? We've seen The Secret has this undeniable appeal, right?
Hmm.
It acted as a huge motivator for loads of people, pushing them towards positivity, gratitude, using visualization.
Yeah, powerful spark for many.
But we've also seen the serious questions raised, like
Yeah.
about the science or lack thereof, the focus on materialism, and that potentially quite harsh take on personal responsibility.
So if we pull back and look at the bigger picture, The Secret really stands out as this potent example of how powerful belief can be. For good, yes, but also potentially for misdirection. And it throws up a really crucial question for you to think about. How do you, as someone learning and growing, weave together the clear power of a positive outlook with the, let's face it, equally vital need for actual effort, for smart action, for resilience when things get tough?
Right. What's that sweet spot?
Exactly. What's the real alchemy there between visualizing the success you want and actually putting in the hard work that critics felt the book sometimes glossed over? Where's that balance for you?